Good morning, grade 9 students. Welcome to our social studies virtual class. Your teacher here, Miss Michelle Joy. This video is made especially for the students who weren't able to join our virtual class this morning. Class, before we proceed with our topic for today, let's discuss the last topic that we have discussed before midterm assessment, which is about the three types of criminal law. What are they? Number one, treason. Number two, felony. Number three, misdemeanor. So class, when you say treason means unloyalty to your own country, it is considered as the highest crime. Felony are crimes punished by incarceration in a prison. Some jurisdictions define as any crime with a term of incarceration of 1 year or more, or even death penalty. Misdemeanor means crimes punished by incarceration in a local jail are also crimes known as wobblers. The trial court determines whether the act constitutes a felony or a misdemeanor. And if the suspect is proven guilty, then he or she will be punished by the law. Now, class, what is the objectives of our lesson for today? The first one is students must be able to know what a criminal offense is. Number two, students must be able to know what a physical act of the crime is, or also known as actus reus. Number three, students must be able to know what a mental intent to do the crime is, or mens rea. Class, let us begin with our discussion for this week now. Our topic for today is about elements of a crime. But before that, let us study the words to learn that we will be encountering in our next slides. Number one, criminal offense. Number two, crime. Number three, physical assault. Number four, intentional. Number five, accidental. So let us discuss these 5 words one by one so that when we go through our discussion later on, you will have the idea what is our topic all about. So example of criminal offense class, we have murder, killing of someone, rape, sexual intercourse with the other person against will or against his or her will, aggravated assault, arson, use of firearm in commission of offense. When you say firearm class, it means gun. Making or using counterfeit money. Now let's proceed to the second word, which is crime. A crime is any action which breaks the formal laws of society and for which a person can be punished. So it is very easy to understand, class. Crime breaks the law. And of course, when you break the law, that person can be punished. Next, the third word, physical assault. So examples of physical assault. Number one, makes threatening gestures, swings at people, grabs, strikes, kicks, pushes, pulls hair, attacks others causing mild to moderate physical injury like bruises and pain or sprain. Number four, attacks others causing severe physical injury like broken bones or deep laceration. Next, number four, intentional. So what do you mean by intentional? It is an action performed with awareness, meaning you are in your proper state of your mind, done deliberately, consciously, or on purpose. And the last word that we have, accidental. So these are the synonyms for the word accidental. Chance, fortuitous, random, incidental, or unintentional, meaning you did not do it in purpose. Now, class, let us read the 5 words to learn again. Criminal offense, crime, physical assault, intentional, accidental. Now, every time that I read these words, class, you can follow after me so you can still practice your reading skills and speaking skills even if you're just at home.
And without further ado, let's get right into today's lightning law moment, which is about the elements of a crime, actus reus and mens rea. The first element of a crime is the actus reus. So what exactly is that? Well, it's a Latin term meaning guilty act. This is something that the Crown lawyer must prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And if they don't, well, the accused will be found not guilty, and they go free. The actus reus can take three different forms. The first and simplest one is an action. An example of this would be throwing a rock at a window. The second is an omission. An omission is actually the opposite of an action, which means that you didn't do something, such as not providing food for your children. And the third is a state of being. That could be something like just being in possession of stolen goods. The second element of a crime is the mens rea. It's also a Latin term, and it means guilty mind. And just like the actus reus, the Crown lawyer has to prove the guilty mind beyond a reasonable doubt to secure a conviction. The thing is, the mens rea is a lot harder to prove than the actus reus because it means proving what someone was thinking. And if the Crown lawyer doesn't prove this element, well, you guessed it, the accused will be found not guilty. Just like with the actus reus, mens rea has more than one form. Three of the most common forms are intention, like purposely kicking someone, knowledge, like knowing that the documents that you just used are forged, and willful blindness, where you deliberately avoid asking questions about why that $1,000 phone you're about to buy is only $50. Stolen! So there you have it. Together, the actus reus and the mens rea make up a crime. If either one is missing, or not proven beyond a reasonable doubt, there just isn't a crime.
Proceed with our discussion for today already, and our topic, as I have told you, elements of a crime. So there are two elements of a crime. Please open your books on page 41 so you can follow, and please highlight everything that you can see in your monitor, especially the underlined ones, because it means they are the important ones. So let's proceed now, class. The first element of a crime is the physical act of the crime, or also known as actus reus in its Latin term, is commonly defined as a criminal act that was the result of voluntary bodily movement. It could be anything from physical assault or murder to the destruction of public property. Another form of actus reus is omission or an act of criminal negligence. It means when someone is not taking action that would have prevented injury to another person. But class, remember, there is an exception for physical act of the crime. And the exception is when the criminal actions are involuntary, any movement made while a person is asleep or unconscious. So class actus reus is usually the act of committing an offense or physical act. However, the actus reus of an offense can be an omission or criminal negligence, as I have discussed. An omission is the failure to do something. Like, for example, you are looking after someone. Then, because of your negligence, something happened, something horrible or something harmful happened to the person you are taking care of. For example, the failure to stop at the traffic light or the failure to wear a seat belt. Now, class, let's proceed to the second element of a crime, which is mens rea, or the mental intent to do the crime, mens rea in its Latin term. Please open your book on page 42, and again, please highlight the underlined words that I underlined in here. So mental intent to do the crime, it explains the mental state which a person was in while committing a crime. It determines whether someone committed a criminal act intentionally or accidentally. It can refer to a general intent to break the law or a specific premeditated plan to commit a particular offense. In order to be declared guilty for any activity, the suspect must have done the act willingly, with no consideration for the safety of others. That's why it's very important for the detectives or for the investigators to prove the suspect that he is guilty beyond reasonable doubt, 100%. So actions that meet these qualifications are viewed as intentional crimes. If evidence shows that the criminal act to be accidental and unavoidable, of course the suspect must be declared innocent and set free. Always remember that an accused is still innocent until they are proven guilty 100% by the court of law. So in levels of mensriya, we have purpose, knowledge, recklessness, and negligence. When you say purpose, the intent to engage in criminal activity or to cause a criminal result. Knowledge means knowing intention to do harm, that is, the conscious intent to act in causing harm. Recklessness, the act of taking substantial and unjustifiable risk. And the last one, negligence, the unwitting creation of substantial and unjustifiable risk when reason should recognize that risk. So class, it's time for me to give you an activity because our lesson for today came to an end already. Please answer the following questions. Number one, write the two elements of a crime. What are the two elements of a crime? If you were listening during my discussion or if you watched the video from the start to the end, you will know the answer. Or if you have listened to our discussion this morning, you will know by the answer of Tanakh. Next, number two, what is the exception to actus reus, or what is the reason why the person who committed a crime will not be punished? And number three, how do you understood an intentional crime? So please answer and submit it to me in my line account or in our Google Classroom account privately. Class, our discussion came to an end already. Please, if you have any question, please don't hesitate to send me a message in my personal line account or send me a message in our Google Classroom account privately. If you want to know more about our topic for today, you can rewatch the video or you can open your book. Stay safe, everyone, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.